Hello Capricorn. This is Miss Joan, Miss Joan's Tarot on the Hill, and I'm here to talk to you about December. We have 4 weeks in December, being the 4th through the 31st, and I will have 4 columns out in front of me, and of course the 3 rows. Let me program these cards for you. Keep an eye out on my website. The link is down there to keep an eye out on my website for opportunities to book classes in January. So I'll be teaching about crystals for your chakras, and I'll also be teaching about how to read the tarot cards. Keep an eye out. So now I'm going to go ahead and set these cards aside, and I'll program these cards for the first week of December, being the 4th through the 10th, so that we can go into that more in depth at the very end of this video. All right? All right, now these are ready to go for after we're done with the overview. So let's get into the overview. All the cards will face me. It doesn't change the meaning of the card. It just means I don't read them upside down. All right? So I hope that these videos are finding you well, and we will, of course, be talking about this wonderful month of December. We actually end directly and exactly on New Year's Eve, so that's pretty cool, right? So let's go ahead and look at what's going on. So we have the 4 of Pentacles here, and the 4 of Pentacles is talking about for the week, of course, of the 4th through the 10th, where we are, what's blocking us, and what our solution is. All right, 4th through the week of the 4th through the 10th, we have the 4 of Pentacles. It's talking about your financial foundation and how you're thinking about it, talking about it, trying to figure it out, and trying to make it better. So cool, we are doing those things. The 3 of Wands is here, saying that the area in your life where you're blocked happens to be in you remembering how you got here, what's going on with that, and all the things that come with that. You're having short-term memory loss, okay? We want you to remember all the things that happened before so that you can proceed with knowledge and it becomes wisdom, right? But if you don't apply that knowledge, you're just like letting yourself be brand new all the time, and that's never a fun thing, right? You're acting like a brand new person all the time, but you've got experience under your belt and you don't have to do that. So the solution is for you to recognize the karma in the process, okay? Because this is a karmic lesson for you. This thing of moving along through the world as if you're brand new all the time and acting like I didn't know, which isn't really going to fly, okay, Capricorn? You've got to get yourself together, okay? You've been through things. You've done things. You've seen things. You've experienced things. You've caused things. Now you need to take responsibility for your actions and accept the responsibility and apply that. The responsibility you have becomes wisdom. Wisdom is good. Don't deny the fact that you have wisdom in this situation, and you're capable. You can fix things, you can change things, and you can change your karma if you'll only pay attention to what you did before and not do it over and over and over again, right? Okay, so that's a fun week for December. Okay, let's look at the 11th through the 17th, all right? In the 11th through the 17th, you are dealing with the 7 of Swords. And the 7 of Swords is you taking your power back and it looks like you're really doing this to become more in control. You're expressing your control issues, so be careful with that. Be cautious and understand that in your way of handling it, you may end up severing something, and nobody wants you to sever anything while you're dealing with this. Okay, so just figure out a nicer way to take back your power when you tell people, you know, I think I have time now to take on this responsibility that I tried delegating to you, and now I need it back. I have time now, so I don't need you to do it for me anymore. You don't have to tell another person that they're doing a terrible job. You just have to say, hey, this is really great. I have more time in my schedule, and I'm willing and happy to take it. Thank you for your service. You can be polite. You can be kind. You don't have to be a jerk all the time, okay? So, the King of Cups is talking about an emotionally based male energy person who is blocking you this week. They're going to be getting in the way of you doing what you need to do. You're like, okay, I have lots of things to be in control of. I'm going to do a lot of finger pointing and everything is going to be great. However, and don't take me wrong, please. There's a lot of times when those are absolutely appropriate and necessary, and someone has to be in charge, and if nobody wants to step up and do it, then why not, right? But you can do it with a nice tone. You can do it with an amicable mood, etc., and everything can happen, and you can be in control and do very well. All right, you've done those things before. So, like last week, we remembered, right? We need to remember what we've done in the past and how it applies and how we do well with it, right? So you're going to take your power back, but this emotional person's going to get in the way and say, well, we need to do something else. I want to be involved. I want to help. And yet they're not maybe a hands-on kind of person. And if this touchy-feely emotional person is standing in the way of you doing your physical labor, you're going to need to gently set them aside. Say, oh, honey, can we talk after work? Thank you. And that's okay, because there may be a way that they can be of assistance, making phone calls or something like that, but they are not going to be physically able to be of assistance. And the answer, of course, is the physical labor. Physical labor. Going to have to pick things up and put them down, okay? The Eight of Pentacles is here saying that this is a physical experience for you, Capricorn. And yes, there's an opportunity for you to take your power back in a gentle way and let this loved one who is only wanting to be of service in some way, but is maybe not as physically capable as you are, and just be cautious and careful how you handle them. They are intended to be allies, right? Don't beat up your allies, okay? And see how you get there from there, okay? And then do the work. Do the work yourself if you have to, and however you can, without it having to be an overwhelming process or whatever. You can even ask for help if you want to from someone else who is able-bodied, okay? So don't kill yourself, but don't kill anyone else either, okay? Cool. All right, now the week of the 18th through the 24th, we have the Empress, which is a wonderful, wonderful, my favorite card of all. The Empress is the wish card. It's basically you being able to put energy out into the universe and say to the universe, hey, I'm looking for a part-time job where I have an open schedule to do whatever I want to do, but this part-time job pays well enough that I can, in fact, boom, take care of all my bills and everything else I need to do, and then still have free time. Wouldn't that be great, right? And then serendipitously, this is a serendipitous card. Things happen and people call and they're like, hey, you know, I don't know what's going on out there, but I really just need you for a few days, like a few days a week. Could you just do a few days a week? Would that be terrible for you? And I'm like, the money's good enough that I can live on that. So serendipity, presto changeo, now you have a new job that fulfills all of your obligations. Just a few days a week. Boop. Perfect. Excellent. And so whatever it is you're wishing for, you put it out there and it will show up serendipitously. Perfect. right? Not a lot of labor in that, but I love that. Now the Four of Swords is showing up saying that the area where you're blocked is the control. The Four of the foundation of your power is at issue here. And we want to express that and understand what that means. The Four of Swords being how you enter the world, how you control the world, how you deal with the term of control, how you deal with what control is around you. If you pay attention to the things that you really can fix, change, and alter, and as you're processing this information, it's going to block you. This thing is going to block you because at some point you're going to either look at a problem and not realize that it is yours to fix, or you'll be telling yourself that it's somebody else's problem to fix when it's not. It's yours. So pay attention to who this belongs to. Whatever this is, the foundation of power is yours. So the thing that's blocking you is for you to fix, okay? We're going to get more information when we go in depth on this, but that's what I'm getting so far, is that there's a lack of recognition so far that this roadblock you keep hitting, you want to say, well, so-and-so is not doing it. So-and-so is not doing their part. And the fact is, it's time for you to do it. It's yours, okay? So claim it, own it, and be ready for it, okay? Now the Lover's card is here, showing up right here as a solution to this particular situation. And it means that you have support while you're going through this situation. And even though this thing is blocking you, you have a partner in crime who is going to be there to support you while you're dealing with this truth that the only one at fault is yourself in this moment. And we have to own it. We have to own our faults sometimes. I mean, if we don't do the work, then the work is never going to get done. Sometimes we just do things and they backfire. And yeah, we want to say, well, so-and-so did this or so-and-so did that. And the fact is, I could have done more in a certain area of my life to make this better, and or I could have seen that it wasn't really growing well or doing well and just moved on, right? And pulled up stakes from this situation that I put a lot of energy into, and now it's still just a pile of mess. And now I have to go and deal with the pile of mess because it's in the way. But it's okay. We're going to do it. You have support, and that's good news. We will get more information at the end of this video, all right? Or in another video. Now let's talk about 25th through the 31st, being Christmas Day through New Year's Eve. Ho, very clean. I love that. Holiday to holiday, bookended. We have the Sun card, which is talking about that opportunity to be new. We were talking about how you couldn't be new over here at the beginning of the month, but here at the end of the month, we're having an opportunity to be new. Do something different that is outside your norm that will be fun and interesting. A little norm, a little different is good. Now the Two of Cups is an area where you're blocked, okay? So the Two of Cups is referring to a partnership. It could be your loved one. It could be your partner in crime. But at the same time, in this blocking department, maybe it is. Maybe it is your partner in crime who's got family of some sort that is not that is causing an issue and blocking you from doing what you want to do. So be aware of that and allow for the possibility of a bump in the road. Okay, just allow for it, but also don't allow it to dominate and ruin your party. Let it be a bump in the road. Go, oh yeah, okay. This is that thing, and I'm a little annoyed by this, but it's going to be a drag to, but look, whatever. It's not that big a deal. We're going to move on. We're going to get through it, and we're going to have a good time. So there. And I want you to just let it be a small thing, not a big thing. Okay? And finally, we have the final card, and it's talking about the Nine of Swords, which is telling us that, yeah, we're having a little bit of a situation. We're feeling a little bit stuck. We're not feeling like we're getting where we want to get to, okay? So with this card, it's like you have to sort of observe where you are and what's going on around you, and maybe look at the situation from a different angle. It's like, okay, right now I can't approach this head on. I like doing things head on, but it's not working out head on because there's this family thing is going on, and it's stopping me from doing my thing. So maybe if I just kind of go here or go over here, but we can just steer our way around the problem, right? Steer our way around the family situation and go ahead and do our own thing, right? Or at least lay the groundwork to do our own thing, and that's good news. Because by freeing yourself from the stuckness, you can now apply yourself to claiming your power. And that's what you want to do, because whatever that is, this isn't actually yours. It's like your partner's family your partner's situation is getting you stuck. So find a way around your partner's stuckness, okay? They're the thing that's getting you stuck. Work your way around it and get on with what you want to do, all right? So let's go ahead and save these cards over here, along with these ones and these ones. And we'll go in depth right here with this particular, the first week of December, 4th through the 10th. We have these cards pre-programmed, and we are ready to go. And I want to just put out there that if you're not interested in watching me shuffle cards or lay them out or whatever, and those things bother you, you can leave me a comment letting me know, and then I will have a better chance to hear your voice and maybe fix or change what I do to better. If the numbers are good, there could be changes to how I do what I do for you. But of course, if you're the only one with that, you may have to just put up with what's going on. But yeah, no, leave me a comment. I'm here, and I will always respond, okay? Maybe not right away, but I will get back to you, okay? Perfect. So let's get into the 4th through the 10th, more in depth. We were looking at your financial foundation, and your financial foundation has also, there's something you need to learn about that. The Page of Wands is here telling me that you need to learn something so that you can make sure your money is safe, all right? And growing. We like it growing. So we're going to learn how to plant money and grow money. Haha, yay, wonderful. So that's good, but it's a class you'll have to take, or it'll be some method of learning new stuff, okay? So there's learning involved, okay? And all of this has to do with the Moon card here, which is telling me that your dreams and goals are at issue here. So your foundation, your financial foundation does not back up your dreams and goals right now, but when you take the class, you'll have more information and be able to take care of that, okay? Cool. We were talking about the 3 of Wands being where you were blocked, not remembering where you've come from and how you've made money in the past and what's going on. You're just ignoring your past. Just close the door to that. It's usually dangerous. I don't recommend it. Now, we have the Star card here saying that the hard work is over. And of course, the 6 of Wands being wanting to take your ideas and the knowledge you have and share it with the world in some way. And interestingly, they come underneath the guise of this, you not wanting to remember. This not wanting to remember is coming through in a weird way. Like there's a scar from the past that you're just so pained by the past right now that you are like closing and slamming the door and saying, no, We're not doing that. I don't want no part of that. That is not what I want. And by doing that, even though you're shutting out one bad thing, you're shutting out other things that are good, okay? So be careful how you're doing that. That's why all this hard work is over stuff and wanting to take your ideas and share. These are good cards. These are wonderful experiences. The idea of being able to say, hey man, I did all that work. I learned all that stuff. And I want to share my knowledge with the universe. But it's all in the jar of, we're putting it on the shelfness because we don't want to deal with it, because it has some other stuff in there in the same jar, okay? So, and it's karmic for you. This Wheel of Fortune is telling me this is a very karmic issue for you to take your stuff, put it in the jar, and good, bad, and indifferent, all of it goes in the same jar, and you stick it up on the jar, on a shelf. You're like, nope, no more of that. There's some dark stuff at the bottom there. I don't want. So, there's ways in our lives where we can process the darkness and move forward, okay? And if we don't process the darkness, sometimes it just comes up in the dumbest and darkest places, and you end up hurting the ones you care about the most, okay? So be careful and cautious how you do that. The Wheel of Fortune is telling me this is something you do on a regular basis. This is something you've done before. You've gone from one life to another, or one area of life to another area of life, and just sort of closed the book, closed the jar, put it on a shelf, and said, I'm done with that. Moving on. And that's interesting and sort of crude. So be aware that that's not how normal people do it. And I'm not saying you're not normal. I'm saying that what you're doing is painful. It's difficult. Most people can't do what you're doing, so it's, yeah, a neat trick, but on the other hand, it's a painful trick. Because by doing that, you're basically taking up, like, there's a piece of your heart in that jar every time. And if you have a shelf full of 9 or 10 jars that have a little piece of your heart in all of them, pretty soon you have nothing but a sliver. And who can feed and love and adore this heart if you've put all of the rest of your heart on a shelf in a jar because you're afraid of it getting hurt, or you're afraid of it being around other people, or afraid of whatever you're afraid of. So be careful with how you're doing that and pay attention, okay? So the Wheel of Fortune is here telling me that it's karmic for you. You do this thing on the regular, and you can, in fact, learn how to open all those jars, take on the information, allow the information, which is the good stuff, right? That's the good stuff. Hey, I already know this stuff. Yeah. It's like, and you get your piece of your heart back, and then you process that little bit of darkness, okay? Process the darkness, whatever it was, and know that it's okay. You're okay, and you're human to have feelings. So having feelings about the darkness is normal, and processing those feelings is important, all right? So it's what's going on, all right? The Three of Cups is here saying that there will be a gathering, a joyful gathering, as part of your solution this week. So allow the joy into you. All this other talk about the jars, I've done some grief work in the last month or so, and I want you to know that grief work is messy and loud by myself, and I did some journaling, and I did some screaming and some yelling at the air. I tell you this to offer support and opportunity to do some of those things yourself if you want to. Getting it out of you is the best way to move forward. Expressing your feelings of grief, sadness, pain, and shame and anger lots of anger. Once it's out of you, you can be happy again. There you go. So we were talking about the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is here to say, yeah, we can, in fact, do this thing. There's a gathering. You're going to be having some joy this week. Maybe you've done the grief work, and that's good. Perfect. And Temperance has shown up here to say that there's enough. You will have enough time, energy, and work to take care of everything you need to take care of. Okay? So all your concerns about lack need to be put out of your mind. Okay? So if you're living a life of lack, let it go. All right? That's just a way of thinking that's limiting. Okay? We don't want to have the limiting thoughts. So take those thoughts of lack, and just those thoughts can go, they can go in the jar. You can put that up on a shelf. Okay? Now you're going to be opening up yourself to abundance. And it's really great. When it starts happening for you, it's really, really great. Okay? So cool. That's what's going on for the 4th through the 10th. And we will talk next about the 11th to the 17th. Thank you, Capricorn.